Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's still the 21st. I just put a video up on the main channel, RFB, on the New World Order. Straight up, coming right out of the UN, telling you that they're closing borders. So remember that, because that'll be coming soon. That COVID is on the rise, and the New World Order is emerging from behind closed doors. Their words, not mine. So there's that. Now, check this out. You guys are my people. A lot of you have met me, and we are the ones that are seeing this happening as it's unfolding. So I'm going to keep telling you this. As long as these guys can ship, keep ordering. I'm telling you. Or don't. It's your call. But I'll tell you what. When they decide to start pulling ATM machines and banks and killing the rest of the food supply because they're already on it, the last thing you want to be is stuck with no food. That's why I push this particular product, and I happen to know the guys that own it, and I happen to actually use the stuff. So there's that. Get it while you can, because sooner rather than later, you won't be able to at all. So check this out. This video is important, and it's especially if you live in the Southeast. But I think it's going to get worse than just the Southeast. But pay attention to this. You remember this? I did a video on this like 5 years ago about the DARPA mosquito for complex jobs like disaster relief and hazardous inspection. Oh my goodness, there's been a disaster. Quickly, let's send out a robotic mosquito that has a camera and an enormous syringe, because that will help during a disaster or hazardous inspection. The reason I'm showing you this is it's from January, February, March. So March is the third month. It was published on the 6th. So there's 3, 6. That's perfect. And then 666. Perfect, right? You got to love it. They never miss a chance. And in case you did miss it, check this. Notice the picture that military aerospace electronics decided to use. Notice the picture. Notice anything strange there? Nothing to see here, folks. It's just a scientist holding up a tiny robot, right? Nothing to see here, folks. Yeah. So bear in mind that I did a video on these 5 years ago, which means these were completed 10 years ago. And back on the third month and the 6th day, they decided to run a story on it to remind you that they had these just a year ago. Okay? Let me turn your attention to this right here. This is from MIT, and I did a video on this a long time ago because I love this stuff. And notice the days that it was published. 9/11, 9/11. It's just odd, isn't it? 3/6, and then 3/6. They never miss it. It's always there. At any rate, back in 2009, these guys were explaining how they could literally take a living organism and put a small computer chip on it and control it entirely. Beetles and other flying insects are masters of flight control, integrating sensory feedback from a visual sensors and to navigate and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, they figured out how to hack into a live insect. Why am I showing you this and this? Because of this. Again, now, I've already run a story on this or a video on this, but pay attention. Pay attention, because it's going to get worse, and it's more of the externalization of the hierarchy. They're showing us what they're doing. 750 million mosquitoes, genetically modified mosquitoes, are going to be released in Florida. And like this article says right here, what could go wrong with 750 million genetically modified mosquitoes? That's a lot. That's a large amount. And if you're unaware who's behind these mosquitoes, hold on to your hats. You're gonna be shocked. Yeah, it's him again. It's Bill Gates all over again. I just did a video about this the other day, but again, like Spiro says, just in case 2020 wasn't crazy enough, the EPA recently announced rolled back regulations for companies due to the coronavirus outbreak, paving the ways for companies to skirt environmental laws. So, thanks to the coronavirus outbreak, the EPA rolled back regulations. So, the 35 million people that lost their jobs, the rolled back regulations didn't help them. For the people that couldn't pay their rent or their mortgages, the rolled back regulations didn't help them. For the companies, the mom and pop stores, the restaurants, the bars, the hair cutters, the nail ladies, all those people that the rolled back regulations didn't help, guess who they did help? They helped Bill Gates. So what did he do with that help? Well, he's releasing 750 million genetically modified mosquitoes. Or are they? Because who knows? You'd never know what they are. And the fact that years ago, these guys could already take a microchip. That chip is enormous. This is 10 years later. They could put a chip on a mosquito that could probably make them fly it just like a drone and probably give them the ability to see what the mosquito's seeing. Don't laugh, because the drones that are available now are insane. But at any rate, so thanks to the coronavirus outbreak, which is him, the EPA made it easier for him to do things like this. So that's exactly what he did. But here's where it gets really, 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 really strange. I want to show you something. Right where they're going to release these mosquitoes, or where they've already been releasing them, because they usually tell us stuff after they already do it. This is happening. 2 hurricanes, not just one. 2 hurricanes in the same exact area. Now, wouldn't that be strange if this hurricane showed up at the same time that all of these were released? I mean, that seems like something someone would have warned us about, right?
You guys know what this represents?
Tell us, sir.
Maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storm?
Could be the calm before the storm.
What storm is
We have the world's great military people in this room, I will tell you that. And we're going to have a great evening. Thank you all for coming.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
Give us a hint of your answers.
Thank you, everybody.
So with all this stuff, once again, coalescing, I just showed you the video on my main YouTube channel that was literally explaining the UN's latest virtual concert that was nothing but a Illuminati fest, where they literally said things like, around the world, we're closing borders. That hasn't happened yet, but it's coming. COVID-19 on the rise. A new world order behind closed doors. The storm will pass. We will survive, meeting them in their deep military bunkers. I just can't help but think that these things all make a difference, because it's all ramping up all over again. And in order to give us the darkest winter ever that they've promised us so many times, myself and many others told you that when the hurricane season came, they were going to start using the weather against us as a weapon. Unbelievably. And they are. On the West Coast, they're burning everything down. The sky where I am right now is totally white. You can't see anything, and we haven't been able to see anything for days because of this at all. But I did actually get footage of this, which is very, very strange. This was last night at 11,000 feet on the top of a mountain right after a storm passed. Do you notice anything strange about this particular sun? The sky was entirely and completely overcast. You couldn't see anything. Strange thing about this sun is it's the cloud. Notice the sky is totally overcast completely, and the sun's just sitting right there, and it continues to go down into what appears to be, it looks like a quarter going into a piggy bank. That's crazy. That is utterly, absolutely, totally crazy. The sun's on the wrong side of the clouds. But back to what I was saying. So with all this stuff right here in mind, okay, genetically modified mosquitoes, it's only 750 million of them. The fact that we know that they can control bugs and insects remotely and have been telling us about it for over 10 years. The fact that DARPA decided to show us again, we already knew about this. This had been around for about 10 years, and then again on the 6th of March in 2019, they decided to post this story and remind us they could do this. But here's something strange I found. Number one, I never knew Bill Gates had a website. Number two, this is a video he just posted 3 days ago. You tell me what Bill Gates is telling you in this video. This is the guy that wants people to think he's saving babies and he's all about children and vaccines are going to save the world. Look at the video that Bill Gates, with 2.26 million subscribers and less views than I have, which is F you, Bill. This is the video he decided to put out. You tell me what he's telling you. How utterly terrifying is that? Why would this video even be up? It's got 29,000 views. He posted it on the 17th of August. It seems like it's really good timing, especially if you're about to release 750 million genetically modified mosquitoes or whatever they are. Do you see what I'm saying? This is them. They can't stop. In the last several days, it's amazing me how far they're going with just showing us exactly what's coming. This is a threat. This is an absolute threat, and that sure does look familiar, doesn't it? I mean, really? Really? Exactly. At any rate, I can't possibly stress enough, be careful, be prepared. They are pushing like I've never seen before. They straight up said, the UN website, the New World Order from behind closed doors. We will arise. We will survive the storm, the storm, the storm, the great storm. You knew I was a snake. They're not kidding. This is happening. Prepare yourself. And if you don't know how to prepare, hit your knees and pray. I do it every single solitary day at least 5 times. And it helps and it works. This is getting crazy. This is speeding up exponentially, whether people understand it or not. Because you're not going to find this stuff in the mainstream. But this, right here, is unbelievably flagrant. I have never seen such a creepy thing in my entire life. Now tie that with the fact that they're talking about, experts say we should be putting morality pills in the water for those people that don't want to comply with lockdowns, etc. They're doing this. They're taking away thousands of banks in Australia. They're making moves in every single continent all at one time, all the while putting out things like this. This is the stuff you should be paying attention to. Richie from Boston, and I'm out.